Okay, you're here to interview for the IT help desk position. Your name's Wyatt, right? Why aren't you wearing a suit?
A suit?
You should be wearing a suit for the interview. All I see you got on is a vest and...
This is not a vest, as a vest only has an aesthetic function. Although this article I'm wearing is aesthetically pleasing, it also serves the purpose of insulating my body heat. Therefore, it is a Gillette, not a vest. Are you sure you're an executive?
Okay, I don't care what that is that you're wearing or whatever else you're wearing. The point is you wear a suit to an interview to show respect. And right now I'm getting the sense that you have no desire to take this position seriously.
Taking this seriously? You know, I strolled in here, I couldn't help but notice one of your peasants pressing his simian-like digits into a disgustingly flat Apple Magic keyboard.
All right, I've seen enough.
But what was truly horrific to see was another computer that hadn't been upgraded to Windows 11. Respect is earned, it is not given, especially to a dinosaur who refuses to leave the Jurassic era.
You know what, Wyatt? We're done. This has been the rudest, most bizarre interview I've ever had. You can leave.
Okay, I will depart. Too bad. This verbal annihilation I have inflicted on you has been quite amusing. Makes me wonder how my interactions with your minions would have been. I can only assume they're even more simple-minded than you, which would have been very entertaining. Oh well, I guess I'll never know.
Wait, hold on a second. Wyatt, what did you just say?
Are you that geriatric and hard of hearing? I said, okay, I will depart.
No, you called my employees minions and then you said they were,
Simple-minded?
Yeah, that was it. Wyatt, are you saying that if you got this job, that you'd assume my employees are simple-minded?
Considering whom they work for, it would be a fair assumption.
So if they came to you and asked for help with their computer, would you be talking to them like you're talking to me right now?
The verbiage of the conversation would obviously be different since we would be having an entirely different discussion.
Right, I know. But what I'm asking is, would you belittle them? Would you make them feel unintelligent? Would you make them feel bad about themselves?
I will put this simply so even you can understand. If your employees require an education, I will provide them an education. Now, if you don't have any more questions, I will depart.
Wyatt, would you be able to start on Monday?
Hey Wyatt, sorry to bother you. Oh, cool shirt, man. I really like cats too.
Cool shirt? Yikes.
Hate to be the one to embarrass you, but it's rather obvious that I'm wearing this ironically in order to express my disdain of living in a hyper-capitalist society.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I was wondering if you could help me out. My computer's running a little slow.
Okay, before you decided to come over here and bother me, did you at least first check your task manager?
Task manager?
Yes, your task manager. If you took a 5th grade level computer skills course, you would know that your task manager would reveal that you're likely running an application that is utilizing a large percentage of your CPU.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. See, I have a Mac, so you must be talking about the activity monitor.
No, I'm talking about a task manager. Despite my proficiency in several languages, I refuse to speak in Apple gibberish.
Right. Well, this has been super helpful. I'm going to go over to my computer and click on the task manager.
Click? As in you use a mouse?
Yeah, I use a mouse for everything. Do you not use one?
Why would I use a futile device and do so unironically? Anyone with a modicum of computer skills can function all applications with a keyboard.
Oh, you don't use a mouse? Well, that's cool. You know why I also wanted to ask you something else. I couldn't help but notice that whenever you come in the office in the afternoon, Frank always makes an effort to say hi to you. And honestly, I've never seen him do that with other employees. I mean, at least not to me. But that's not to say that I don't like Frank. I really like Frank. Frank is great, and he's super friendly and super cool and everything. But, you know, I don't know. I wanted to know, I mean, obviously he warmed up to you, and I don't know, have any advice?
Cognitive behavioral psychotherapy. I recommend that you seek such treatment. That is my advice.
Sorry, what?
It is apparent that you have a desperate yearning for an older male's validation. In this case, it is validation from your boss, Frank. This is textbook fatherless behavior.
No, I don't think I need that.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Oh, hello, sir. Today was a really beautiful day, wasn't it? I mean, of course, I didn't go outside, but I noticed through the window.
Wyatt, what are we working on?
Obviously nothing at this moment, but before you arrived, I was answering Adam's elementary questions.
Adam, why are you bothering Wyatt?
Oh, I didn't mean to bother, sir. I was just coming in here because my computer's slow.
Slow? Okay, I don't know much about computers, but I know what that means. Slow computers means you're messing around on sites you shouldn't be on, especially in the office. I got 2 teenage sons at home, and our computers run at a snail's pace, so don't you tell me I'm wrong.
Oh, no, sir. No, sir. I wasn't looking at anything like that at all. Wyatt was just explaining to me that the reason why my computer is slow is because I was using some application that was taking up a lot of CPU.
That is a complete distortion of what I said. What I said was that your computer was likely slow from running an application. However, I did not speculate what that application was. Frank may be technologically illiterate, however, in this case, he is correct. Those sites are littered with malware that will slow down your computer. Really, Adam? Is this what I pay you for you to sit around and get off on your sick little internet fantasies?
Sir, I swear.
Okay, I've heard enough. All right, you wasted my time, you wasted enough of Wyatt's time, so I think it's time for you to get back to work.
Sir, I promise.
Let's go! Come on! Chop chop!
Hey, Wyatt.
Nice work.
Wyatt, we need to talk. I just spoke to the HR lady. What's her name?
If you're asking me her name, I don't know. And I wouldn't remember her name even if she told me. My anterior temporal lobe eliminates useless information, including the identities of NPCs.
Oh, it's Tiffany. Tiffany's the HR lady. Anyway, Tiffany told me that Janice from accounting is apparently claiming that you verbally harassed her. I have here that Janice stated that you made egregious comments regarding her pregnancy and unborn child. It's a pretty serious accusation, Wyatt. Care to explain?
Explain? Wow, this is actually being entertained. Yes, this is a serious accusation. However, unfortunately for Janice, it lacks even a granule of merit. Correcting misinformation is not verbal harassment.
Correcting misinformation. Why? I don't know what that means. You're going to have to tell me what you said.
Okay, at approximately 10:43 a.m., Janice, without solicitation, announced to the break room that her baby was to be due on November 10th. Having heard this blatant fallacy, I explained to Janice, through logic and reasoning, why this due date was a baseless assumption. As I explained to Janice, considering that she is 40 years of age, the probability of miscarriage as well as premature birth has significantly increased. Therefore, this due date is unsubstantiated.
Okay, Wyatt, I've heard enough. I've heard enough. You know, I don't know if I'm more angry or disappointed, but this is very inappropriate. I told Janice so many times, do not talk about your pregnancy. That topic is technically a sexual topic, a topic that we cannot discuss in the office. But what does she do? She goes ahead and discusses. I mean, we could get sued over this, but she doesn't care.
Highly unlikely that she knows anything about civil suits. Her familiarity with the legal system is probably as tenuous as her understanding of her own female anatomy.
Well, I'm actually meeting with Janice today because she's asking for that maternity leave, which don't even get me started. But let's just say that when Janice and I talk, we're going to have a very frank discussion. You know what? There's something I wanted to tell you. You probably know by now that, well, there's a lot of things in this world that I despise. I hate lazy people. I hate excuses. I hate the fact that they built that goddamn foster care center right outside my gay community. It's a real eyesore.
But what I despise the most, what I really loathe more than anything, is seeing joy on other people's faces. I don't know what it is, it's just... I guess I'm not a big fan of other people's happiness. And you know, for a while I felt I was all alone feeling this way. As until you came here. The other day I saw Adam walking down the hall and he was doing something that just rubbed me the wrong way. He had this shit-eating grin on his face. He was smiling at nothing. God, it infuriated me. And just right then and there, I just wanted to, you know? But the funny thing is, I looked over to you, and I could see you were thinking the exact same thing. I actually imagined applying pressure to his carotid arteries as that would be the proper choke. However, other than that detail, my fantasy was quite similar to yours. You know, Wyatt, I know we come from very different walks of life. I know we have different ideologies and whatever, but I think at the end of the day, you and I are very much alike. And I guess I'm trying to say that it's nice to have someone here that I can relate to. I guess I'm trying to say it's nice to have you here. So... Frank, I usually don't express words of appreciation unless I receive a tangible gift of actual value. However, today I am willing to make an exception. So, thank you. Are you having a stroke? Does it speak? Yes, I do speak, but my ability to speak should not concern you. What should concern you is my proficiency with computer assembly and wireless networking, as I am your competitor. Competitor? I wasn't aware that there was a competition. However, judging by the looks of you, it's obvious that you're competing for the most hideous Riddler cosplay. I therefore am not your competitor. I have way too much respect for DC Comics to participate in such degeneracy. Everyone look alive. Boss alert. Oh, good. Caleb, I see you met Wyatt. Is he showing you the ropes? No, Wyatt has not shown me coils of twisted fibers. However, if you're asking if Wyatt has gotten me familiar with the company's software, the answer is still no. However, I would rather become familiar with the company's software on my own. Based on my brief interaction with Wyatt, I already know that any insight he gives me will only hinder me on my first day. First day? Frank, what is this? I am an expert in various operating systems. Of course, my preferred choice is Linux. I wasn't talking to you. This is Caleb. He's our new IT specialist. As in a second specialist? We don't need a second specialist. Maybe you're right, Wyatt. Maybe we only need one IT specialist. I guess we'll have to see. Oh, look at that. Running out of coffee. Alrighty, guys, I'm out of here. While I'm gone, you two better not fight to the death. I highly doubt that would be much of a fight. Oh, hey there, Wyatt. I didn't see you there. If you're offering to refill my coffee, you're too late. What kind of sick corporate Hunger Games are you trying to play here, Frank? Sick game? Why, I have no idea what you're talking about. It's obvious I'm referring to the forest green boob who, as we speak, is mouth breathing in my office. Is this a joke? No, it's not a joke, Wyatt. Wanted to give you a little push, a little motivation. Wouldn't want one of my employees to get too comfortable. This is, after all, a competitive business, and only the strong survive. Funny that you refer to me just as one of your employees. Considering our recent discussion, I thought... You thought what? That we were friends? What gave you that idea? Perhaps not friendship, but at least an alliance. You literally told me less than 72 hours ago that we had very similar dispositions. Specifically, our mutual disdain for most members of the human race. Oh boy, Wyatt, you're a lot denser than I thought. We'd have to be on the same level for us to be friends. What, you think because we have stuff in common that makes you, what, special? Not necessarily, however. Listen, Wyatt, let me tell you a story to help you understand. See, I live in a home nearby a canyon. Beautiful area, but we get a lot of coyotes. I usually see them roaming around the neighborhood during the evening. And about a few years ago, when I first noticed these coyotes, my first instinct was to, kill them. I mean, I don't look at them more than pests, carry diseases and such, so that seemed like the right course of action. But the thing is, that along with the coyotes, my neighborhood also has rabbits, and these rabbits are even worse. They eat our flowers, they poop everywhere, just a real pain in the ass. So, when I discovered that coyotes hunt rabbits, it kind of changed my mind about the whole killing them thing. I realized that me and the coyotes had a shared interest. In a way, we had something in common. But here's the thing. If I really wanted to, I could still kill those coyotes. That would be my choice to make. Coyotes and I are not equal. We are not friends. Frank, I think you should know something about the Canis latrans. Canis what? The coyote. See, coyotes are not limited to hunting rabbits. Coyotes also hunt snakes.
Hi, Wyatt. I just want to say to you and to everyone at this company that I'm very sorry. I have no idea how it happened. I don't know how I permanently deleted that file.
For the sake of the imaginary man up in the sky, please calm yourself. I can easily retrieve a permanently deleted file by simply installing a file recovery tool.
Oh, really?
Yes, really, so your melodrama is completely unnecessary. This is especially true when there's real-life tragedies transpiring as we speak. To say that I am perturbed is an understatement. I have just discovered that Netflix is once again planning to defecate on yet another masterpiece.
Perhaps the real tragedy is that I have to breathe the same air as you simians, especially you, Wyatt. Instructing Adam to install a file recovery tool prior to directing him to check his recycling bin? You truly are an amateur.
Was that a pathetic attempt at an insult, or purely stated in jest? I ask because your inflection is so insufferable that it sounds intentionally fake. It honestly makes me question whether or not you are playing a satirical character.
Making a jibe about the pitch of my voice instead of addressing the substance of my argument. How typical of a rube.
I didn't address the substance of your argument because there was none. Files that are found in the recycling bin are not permanently deleted. Files that are deleted from the recycling bin are permanently deleted and cannot be retrieved without a tool.
You really are out of your element, aren't you, Wyatt? Seems that you've forgotten that part of the job of an IT specialist, along with, of course, resolving some complicated technical issues, is to understand the simple minds of the plebeians. There's a 99% probability that Adam's deleted file is still located in his recycling bin, and if you did your job properly, you would have informed him of such.
Okay, first of all, Adam's ineptitude is unrelated to his intelligence, however correlated to his lack of self-esteem, which causes him to second-guess every decision he makes. His low self-esteem likely stems from his father abandoning him when he was a toddler.
Oh no, I was actually 15.
Adam, what are you doing?
What?
I am providing a counteroffensive on your behalf. However, you insist on correcting the minutiae. Why are you actively engaging in self-sabotage?
This has been very pointless. I think I've wasted enough time around you imbeciles. But before I go, I would like to thank you both. It has been quite amusing observing a case in point of the blind leading the blind.
I actually probably should get back to work too. I think I can figure it out now. But sorry about the Bioshock remake, Wyatt.
I am very perplexed as I sit here in thought. I have just defended Adam from that fedora-wearing twat, and thus I have shown another human compassion. What the fuck is happening to me?
Oh, hello, Wyatt. Are you coming by for a cup of coffee?
Yes, I believe that would be the obvious motivation for me to visit this kitchen. I didn't just come here to watch you fumble the French press.
Jeez, Wyatt, I was just asking. Look, I just need a couple minutes for this to brew, and then this coffee station will be all yours, okay? I'll be out of your hair.
So, Carol, did you have a nice weekend? Very funny, Wyatt, but I'm not falling for that one. There is nothing to fall into, Carol. I am simply asking you if you enjoyed your weekend, even though my question is likely futile, since I highly doubt we share sufficient similar interests to form that authentic human connection. However, please appreciate that I'm making an attempt.
Oh, you're just asking me about my weekend. Well, that's very surprising, but very nice of you, Wyatt. I actually had a wonderful weekend. Let's see, what did I do? Well, on Saturday I didn't really do anything, but on Sunday I woke up bright and early and made my family a big, delicious breakfast. And then afterward, we of course went to Mass, and Father Tom, he just gave the most amazing, beautiful sermon. I really, really felt a connection with Jesus on Sunday. It was just amazing. And then afterward, I recalled that my son's birthday's coming up, so I went to Target because he wants a gaming computer. So I went to Target, but surprisingly, they didn't have the selection that I wanted. They didn't have a lot of computers. But luckily, there was an Apple store right next to the Target. So I went to the Apple store and I found him this adorable Mac Mini that he can game on, and also he can do all his schoolwork. Wyatt, are you leaving?
Believe me when I say this, Carol. Me walking away right now is the right thing for the both of us.
Did you actually recommend McAfee antivirus software over Avast? Wow. Genius may have its limitations, but stupidity is not thus handicapped. Citation, Albert Hubbard. He was a very eclectic author. You likely haven't heard of him, Wyatt. I take you to be more of a J.K. Rowling devotee.
Caleb, you should know that I am adept at selective auditory retention. Therefore, your babbling serves no purpose other than to bounce sound waves off these modular walls.
Gentlemen, I have questions that need answers, and I need answers right now, because right now, this old dog is pissed.
That's pretty surprising to hear, Frank. Never once have I seen you get upset at the most minor inconvenience.
Why is everyone in this goddamn office suddenly having problems with their computers? Huh? What the hell is going on? If I were to guess, it's probably because Wyatt...
Frank, we just underwent a massive migration to cloud storage. Given the number of smooth brains that are employed at this company, user-end issues were inevitable.
The migration was supposed to make things easier, Wyatt, not harder. Now everyone's having these problems and making these tickets when they could be working, which means that I'm losing money. So how the hell do you explain that?
How do I explain? I think it'd be better to ask, why would I explain the process of migration to someone who obviously wouldn't understand it? Explaining migration would be equally as fruitless as explaining to you why your oldest son doesn't speak to you. You just wouldn't get it, Frank.
I see. Trying to be cute, aren't you, Wyatt? Trying to fuck with me. Well, let me tell you something, Wyatt. You don't fuck with me. I fuck with you. Now you two better listen up. Starting now, we're about to have ourselves a little competition. We're about to find out between the two of you who is the real IT specialist. For the next 72 hours, you two will be fighting for your lives to see who can resolve the most tickets. This will be a test of skill and it'll be a test of will, because the employee who can resolve the most tickets in 72 hours actually deserves to be here. And, well, as for the other,
I did hear that the McDonald's down the street is handing out applications.
How is that a competition? I thought a competition would entail that there would be a challenge.
What's wrong, Wyatt? Are you not feeling cute anymore? I'll see you both in 72 hours. Best of luck.
Oh no, I am so distraught. Please someone administer a beta-adrenergic blocking agent to lower my blood pressure. Insert sarcasm. In actuality, my genuine concern with this challenge is that it will cause me boredom. Perhaps if I tie a hand behind my back...
Caleb, I will ask you this nicely. I will even use please. Please, shut the fuck up.
Wyatt, I just forwarded you some links from Indeed to help you with your job search. I think you should pay particular note of the Walmart cashier position, as it appears to be your best fit. It's apparent from the outcome of this competition that you have no place in IT.
Hi, Wyatt. I just wanted to come by because...
Let me guess. You wanted to wish me a farewell.
Well, yeah. I heard you lost a ticket competition. Just wanted to say I'm really sorry it turned out this way. But, wow. What a race. I mean, you resolved 22 tickets. Caleb resolved 23. Super close.
But not close enough. Just imagine the score if I actually tried.
Well, anyway, I just want to let you know that I think this whole thing that Frank did was just really unfair. And I just wanted to tell you that it's been great working with you.
Adam, please spare me the tender sentiment. Unfortunately for us, we will be in near proximity quite often in the future.
Really? Oh, well, that's great. So Frank no longer wants to fire you.
No, I didn't say that.
So which one of you sorry sacks of shit lost the competition? What the hell am I saying? I already know the answer. Play it, Caleb. Oh, boy. All right. Fun's over. Pack up your shit, Wyatt. Everyone else, say bye-bye to Wyatt. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Now that is an interesting choice of words coming from you, Frank. I really expected for you to say, Saudi crop. Frank, why is Wyatt butchering Vietnamese?
You blithering Neanderthal. Saudi crop is a Thai phrase. It is not Vietnamese. However, if you'd like to know the reason why I spoke Thai, well, I'm sure Frank could explain. I don't have time for this bullshit.
Yeah, you do, Frank. You actually have an abundance of time. It's apparent that you understand that I know something that you don't, and if you'd like to know why that is, then I advise you to listen. Wyatt, Frank and I aren't partaking in your little charades.
Caleb, shut up. Wyatt, I'll give you 1 minute to speak. Then I want you out of here.
Okay, now that you both are listening, I will begin. Approximately 48 hours ago at 9 a.m., Caleb arrived to the office to begin his work. Caleb had a large grin on his face, as if he just consumed a hefty bag of paint chips. However, Caleb's grin quickly faded when he noticed lying on his desk a package along with a peculiar note. The note read, "I hope this ticket finds you well. Please mail this package for Frank to the following address. Love, Adam." After reading the note, Caleb became enraged, as this was not a proper ticket to IT help desk, but in fact a mailing request. Caleb, having the emotional impulses of a stroke survivor, stormed into Adam's office and proceeded to verbally reprimand him. Adam, however, did not make the request, and was bewildered as to why someone would write a note using his name. But Caleb expectedly disregarded Adam's meek attempt to defend himself, and demanded that Adam be the one to fulfill the request. Adam, having less backbone than most marine-like species, planned to accede to Caleb's demand. However, Adam's plan to mail the package suddenly changed when he decided to check the contents inside. Upon discovering what was inside, Adam was quite alarmed, to say the least. After hours of imagining the terrifying possibility of soft confrontation, Adam found the courage to tell Caleb why the package should not be mailed. But Caleb once again refused to hear Adam. Instead, he snatched the package from Adam's grasp, and in a hormonal fit, Caleb stated that he would mail the package himself. Caleb's decision was very predictable, and equally as predictable were Caleb's motivations.
Caleb had realized that this task, although not IT related, could be technically labeled a ticket, one that if completed would further his chances at winning the ticket competition. And since this request required no actual thought or effort, it was for Caleb the perfect task. And Caleb, without checking the contents inside, mailed the package.
Now at this point, even you cretins should know that I was the true author of the note. However, thus far I've given little indication as to what was inside the package. That is until now. The package contained photographs of Frank. Well, not just Frank, but Frank and his date. Now, considering Frank's age and his inability to use a smartphone, the photographs are of terrible quality. However, they nevertheless capture the scene. At the time the photographs were taken, Frank was at an establishment in Thailand, which is very interesting, since Frank had purported to the other executives that he is on a business trip in Bismarck, North Dakota. What is also very interesting is that Frank had used company funds to finance this Thai adventure, something that the other executives were also not aware of. Or at least Bob Declan wasn't privy to this information when I spoke with him this morning.
Wyatt, why are you doing...
This now begs the question, where was that package mailed to? Well, this package was of course delivered this morning to Frank's home address. I actually received an update approximately 43 minutes ago that the package was signed upon receipt by a Mrs. Cheryl Winters. Given the emotional gravity accompanied with discovering that your spouse is a deceitful pervert, I can only assume that Mrs. Winters is reviewing these photographs as we speak.
Jesus Christ, Cheryl.
Finally, the last order of business, that is the status of the ticket competition. Now, since Frank was the orchestrator of the competition, and considering that Frank is now likely to face both civil and criminal fraud charges, I believe it's safe to assume that this ticket competition is now null and void. However, there is something I'd like to mention that you, Caleb, in particular, may find significant. Despite my meticulousness over the past couple days, I did make one noteworthy mistake. At the time the ticket competition ended and we were to submit our numbers to Frank, I had made a typographical error. I emailed Frank that I completed 22 tickets. That was incorrect. In actuality, I completed 122. But none of this is relevant since our positions at this company remain unchanged, except for Adam, who will likely be receiving a promotion. This conclusion is based off the information I received from Bob Eklund this morning.
No way.
Wyatt, if you knew that you're going to be the winner of this competition and you knew that I was the one to be fired, then why did you go forward this plan?
Caleb, throughout my life, people have described me as insufferable, but never once have I been called unfair. You said yourself 3 days ago, a competition is not a competition unless there's a challenge. And you were right. This was never a real competition.